SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, in today's video, I want to discuss a concept that I think is going to rear its ugly head at some point. If it hasn't already in some places, I think the problem could get worse. So what we're going to discuss here is highest mobile data traffic networks in the world. And there really is only one that is in North America. I don't think any other top 10 mobile networks on a global scale from North America, except T-Mobile, right? T-Mobile US. I'm looking at this list and I see China Mobile ranked number 1. And they were previously ranked number 2. And I see Reliance Jio number 1 last year, or in the first half, now kind of ranked number 2. So they're going back and forth between China Mobile and Reliance Jio. But then to kind of round out the top 5, you have China Telecom, you have China Unicom, and Airtel India. So there's no surprises. The top 5 are India and China. No surprises. They service, you got 1.5 billion people in India. You got like 1.6 billion people in China, something like that. Like, those are absurd numbers. But number 6 is T-Mobile US. Let that sink in for a second. T-Mobile US is the only company in the world, not in Asia, that's in the top 6. And for the rest of these, I don't know based on the tag, but I know Vodafone is a European country, a European telco, and they're in multiple countries, so I'm not sure, what country that represents. I see a Thailand-based operator. But to kind of, and I think you guys can see the image here. You can pinch to zoom. My concern is pretty simple. You have a consumer base, which we already covered in a video, per user. You have a consumer base in T-Mobile that customers use a lot of data per customer, right? Average per customer. And you have a growing consumer base because T-Mobile grows. And this is not even taken into account fixed wireless. This is just mobile data traffic. You have customers that have become accustomed to unlimited data over the better part of the last 10 to 12 years. You have, the power users that seem to be more abundant on the T-Mobile network. Yet T-Mobile has not established a foundation of densifying their network to a scale that's probably going to accommodate this growth. Now, we can discuss CapEx all day, but T-Mobile appears to be spending the least on their wireless network compared to AT&T and Verizon, which AT&T and Verizon have heavily invested into fiber circuits, right? Owning fiber that increases capacity, the potential throughput of their network. And I think both AT&T and Verizon have also done more relative to CRAN and small cells. So the densification process, I think T-Mobile is going to start picking those things up, right? And I think the conversation about millimeter wave becomes legitimate. When is T-Mobile going to scale this? And I think they have to start exploring these options. And I think they know that internally as well. This is not me, and people leave these types of comments all the time. It's not me telling a company how to run their business. It's not me telling the world that I know better than engineers. That's the wrong perception. This is a video reminding folks that the demands on the T-Mobile network are excessive. That is a company that has grown at an exponential pace. They have added many customers on a quarterly basis for the better part of the last decade. They've taken on the Sprint customer, right, with their integration of their merger. They've got fixed wireless access traffic on their network. This data proves, and it's right here. You can't miss it. They're number 6 in the world, and the only companies that have more usage per customer and more total usage on their network are either based out of China or India, right? And the US is the 3rd most populated country in the world. We have like 340 million people or something, 330 million, but we're over 1 billion less than number 2. So this is not a scare you type of video. It's not like that, but it's clearly mobile usage has ticked up, continues to increase. T-Mobile ranks in the top 6 in the world. I don't see Verizon and AT&T there, and they actually own their fiber circuits, and that's why I think T-Mobile was wise to start making investments into fiber, and it will be even wiser to make investment into additional solutions. And not just to target T-Mobile, but I think T-Mobile has an argument if they go to the FCC and say, we need more spectrum. We need more mid-band spectrum. That's something that China Mobile has, and China Telecom and China Unicom. They have more mid-band spectrum on air. And I think also T-Mobile needs to build to the millimeter wave. And I think that's got to happen sooner rather than later. Like, don't be surprised if within the next year you start to see this scale a little bit, because there's just no other way. The bandwidth is in the millimeter wave. There is just no mid-band here within the United States that's going to accommodate this growth of usage, this total usage, and the trends that we're seeing. And I think not only is T-Mobile wise to start really pushing the densification process, but getting into these technologies with millimeter wave and C-RAN and all of it as a collective. It's a joint effort. And, you know, let's be honest here, T-Mobile's probably going to have to kick up their spending. The conversations about them investing into fiber make a lot of sense. That is investment into their wireless network on some level, possibly on a couple of levels. So I'm not putting up a scare tactic type video. I'm saying that they've got usage and they're just going to have to build to it. So what do you guys think? Total usage on the T-Mobile network. How concerned are you? Scale of 1 to 10. My concern's a 5. But what about you guys? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Hey, check out our other content. There's some videos here at the end. Support us on Patreon and with a YouTube membership. There's other ways to support us. Links are in the description.